Hello YouTube, this is Dragonclaw here, the Grass Fire Gym Leader over at rPokemonLeagueDS, here to bring you another battle. This one's against Alidsl again. This is actually our third time battling. Our second time got disconnected at the last second, but we both agreed that I won that one. So this is our third match. And this one was interesting, to say the least. You'll see why I say that in a bit. But anywho, let's just go ahead and get straight on with it. So we had a bit of a mind game going on about who was our leads. I went ahead with Chandelure, thinking he was going to lead with his Breloom again. I go ahead and switch out though, because I know I'm probably not going to be able to take him out with any one single hit, and whatever he has at me is going to hurt. But I end up dodging his first Rock Slide, even though it wouldn't have done that much, but it would have made a pretty significant difference. I go ahead and went for the Surf, thinking maybe he would try and stay in, but he goes ahead and switches into his Al Capone here, who tanks that very well, especially considering it was a crit, but that's not that big of a deal, because I wouldn't expect that to do very much anyway. But I go ahead and stay in, because I know a Giga Drain is going to do a lot. And just as I expected, it does a pretty good amount. I was, obviously a little bit more would have been helpful, but it doesn't really matter too much. He goes for his Recover, and brings him back up to a little bit more than where he started, and then he gets a little bit of leftovers and it puts him over the top. So basically me staying in and continuing to Giga Drain him and him using Recover, we end up in this little bit of a loop here, but this is giving me the advantage because I can definitely 2-hit KO him. So as soon as he does something different, then I got him, and right there he went for a Will-O-Wisp and missed, so there's another little bit of a hacks for me. But I definitely would have killed him with another Giga Drain, so I stayed in and went for another one. Did not do a lot to this guy. And now here's where I make a decent mistake. I actually stayed in, slightly expecting the U-turn, but I was thinking maybe he'd go for another Rock Slide or something, expecting me to switch. But it actually one-shotted me with a U-turn, and that was a little bit unexpected. I didn't think he'd be able to one-hit KO me with anything, so that was fairly surprising. But now he sends out his Cloyster, and now I get the switch option right here because he killed me with a U-turn. So this was a free switch for me, basically. He sends out Politoed here, so right after, to cancel out my Sun, put his Drizzle up. I went ahead and went straight for the Energy Ball because that would have done a lot to Cloyster, but not so much to this frickin' Politoed here. Even though I found out later that this guy is physically defensive, not specially defensive. He tanks those hits very well. So now I go into Sawsbuck here. I wasn't sure what he was going to do. I was expecting maybe a Scald or a Protector, maybe even a Toxic. I wasn't really expecting the sub. But then I go ahead and switch over to Breloom, knowing that my Bullet Seed is going to wreck this thing, because it'll destroy the substitute and then give me at least one more hit. But then he gives me the Toxic. I take a little bit of damage. Doesn't give me the pleasure of killing him right away. He wants to get that residual damage. I can't really blame him for that. So now here comes the Bullet Seed. And first one hits it, so that means these guys, each one of these seeds are doing at least 30% apiece. And I did get the 4 hit there, which is a little bit on the lucky side, but it's still, you know, it's not too, I wouldn't consider that quite to be hacks. So now he goes for the Shell Smash, tries to set up on me with the Cloyster, but me sort of expecting it, I went for the most powerful attack I can do against this guy. And that would be a low sweep. So yeah, he keeps his defenses up because of the White Herb. However, this is still going to do a lot. Brings him down, doesn't quite kill him. Meanwhile, this Toxic is really doing a lot of damage on me, but I need to get this guy out of here, so Mach Punch. And here comes this Toxic again, so the next bit of Toxic is definitely going to kill me. And so I figure, what the heck, I'll stay in because the Toxic is going to kill me anyway, and there's not much point in staying in with a Toxic and having only 22 damage. A switch, I could use it for fodder later, but whatever. And so I went ahead and went straight for the Spore, because why not? And my real strategy behind this was, if he hits me, then I'm dead. Oh well, that would have happened anyway. But if he doesn't and he sets up, then I get to put him to sleep, and that gives me a wonderful opportunity here. So I go straight out to Vixie again, so now I bring the Sun back up, and now the Sun will forever be on my side because his Politoed's done. And so here's my big chance. I go ahead and go straight for an Overheat, because I know he's got a Quiver Dance under his belt. So I was hoping I could go for this. Then if it didn't work, I could use a Power Swap, and then I could finish him off if he woke up. But I went ahead and got a crit, and I beat him right away. So that was pretty awesome. Now here at this point, I wanted to stay in. I know you guys are probably thinking, what the heck did you stay in for? It's honestly because Ninetales is pretty much fodder at this point, because I need the Sun to be up, and I have that. So Ninetales' job is basically done. I end up surviving the Rock Slide the first time, well, because I missed it, but this time I actually survived it, which is ridiculous. I would not have expected a super effective Rock Slide against a crazy high attack Darmanitan with sheer force and everything else, and I just was not expecting that. But I'm not quite sure what warranted this switch here, but because he definitely could have killed me in one more hit. But I went straight for an Overheat just because I did the Power Swap and my attack was back up, and it would have done a lot of damage to the Darmanitan. But now I bring his Breloom down to hardly nothing because of his Focus Sash. Now I kind of saw the Mach Punch coming, and I almost switched into Chandelure to take the Mach Punch, but I was thinking maybe on the off chance that he would Spore me, that would be very bad. So I go ahead and switch out into my ultimate Breloom counter Totem here, and go for the Trick, because why not? Tricks are fun. And I end up doing the same thing I did last time, and I take this Jelly Sense leftovers, and he gets a Choice Scarf. So now he's down to only using Scald, and Totem here isn't going to have very much trouble with that at all. So now the best he can hope for is a Burn, and that's not going to do very much to me at all. especially since I can roost it off and his Scalds aren't doing hardly anything. So I go ahead and just finish him off with a Psychic. Now I'm getting leftovers boost. So now here comes this guy again. He goes for a U-turn. I stay in because I know I'm pretty defensive. Even at almost full health, I'm pretty sure I can survive a Rock Slide. He does get a crit on the U-turn though. So, I mean, maybe the Hacks gods are, you know, feeling a little sorry for him. They want to give him some hacks too. I just go straight for the Psychic though. And it's definitely enough to take out the Breloom, obviously. So now he sends this guy back in again and goes for the Rock Slide. Now, as defensive as my totem here is, he's definitely not going to be able to take that from about a third health left. So now in comes Sawsbuck. I'll just be able to do a Nature Power Earthquake. Under the sun, I'm faster than him. So it's definitely going to be enough to take him out. And there goes that battle. Good match on Alidsl. He had a bit of bad luck with some hacks there. Definitely was on my side, but I honestly don't think it would have done that much of a difference. Yes, it would have mattered, and maybe it would have swung the battle one way or another, but I was feeling pretty confident about how I played that match. I'm sure he feels pretty crappy about missing, I think it was 3 out of his 4 Rock Slides missed, or 3 out of 5, something along those lines. And then he missed his Will-O-Wisp, but the Will-O-Wisp wouldn't have done very much anyway. And I got the crit on his Volcarona, and he got a crit on me, so those crits cancel out, I suppose. And so yeah, it was still quite a lot of hacks on my side. But either way, it was a fun match. I enjoyed battling Alidsl, and I get to keep him from his Elite Four title for another day. However, I'm going to do another battle pretty soon, and unless we disconnect, you guys will see that one again. So hopefully it'll be another good battle. As always, if you guys want to check out our league, hop on over to rPokemonLeagueDS over at Reddit. And this is Dragonclaw signing out.